Hey, it's Madam Whipass. Hey, y'all. Come on in the building. It is being reported that Camille Cosby has left her husband, Bill Cosby. In case you have been living under a rock, Bill Cosby was just recently convicted of, I don't know, rape, sexual assault, or some crap. He's due to be sentenced to go to jail in September. That's if they will sentence him to jail. Cosby is like, what is he, 81, 87? He's just up there. He's old. And I just have to question whether this is just some bullshit rumor, because Bill and Camille have been married since like 1962, 63. This is 2018. He is 80-something. She indeed is 74 years old. They're stating that she has sold a private jet, sold some real estate in California, is looking to sell his antique cars, and she has retreated with all of the staff and the 3 remaining kids to Massachusetts, and has left Bill Cosby on house arrest in their Pennsylvania home. This is all that is being reported. I don't know how true it is. I don't know how true I really want it to be, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. I just can't connect the dots, mainly because, Camille Cosby, she has stood by him through thick and thin through this situation. Even after the conviction, she lashed out at the prosecutor and said this was racism and a lynching and all of this stuff. I mean, she stood by her man, her husband, since 1962, 63 or 64, one of them years. It was in the early 60s that they hitched up. You know what I mean? And so I just don't see her leaving him now. I mean, he just got convicted, a month or so ago? And she released this scathing statement in defense and support of him. It just makes no sense that she would pack up and leave. So, I don't really just jump and believe everything I hear and everything I see and everything I read. Because people will start some rumors. Now, I'm sure that they have had arguments over this situation. I mean, there's no way that they had been exchanging pleasantries ever since the first allegation. But she has supported her husband, her baby daddy, the father of her children. And I'm looking for Mr. Snake while I'm talking. And so I just don't see them busting up at this stage in their life. To me, it just makes no sense. Y'all are in the twilight years of your life and your marriage. You have been married since 1962 or some shit like that. It is now 2018. What you gonna leave for? What you gonna get half for now? You 74. You really got one foot in the grave and the other one on a banana peel. It just makes no sense to divorce this man. Now, we must take into consideration the added stress of them just recently losing another child of theirs. And we say child, but young, an adult daughter. That's the second kid that they have lost. They've lost their only son. And now they have just recently, in the last 3 months, I suppose, buried one of their daughters. And so they're left with 3 girls. Because, yeah, Bill and Camille had 5 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 girls and a boy. And so I know they've been through so much since being married from 1962, whatever the year was, the early 60s. They've been through the death of a child before, the death of their only son. Not that one death is greater than the other, but I can imagine the heartache of losing the only son. And so they weathered that storm, and now they've lost a daughter. And you're going to compound these stressful events with a sexual assault, a rape conviction. I can understand what it could do. You know, people, I guess, can only take so much. But my thing is that y'all been together this damn long. When you took those vows in 1961, 62, y'all said till death do you part. And so far, so good. Y'all really meant that shit up until recent years, or what the fuck happened? You might as well wait till death do your part. It don't make no sense for you to get a divorce now. It's stupid. Don't nobody know Bill better than Camille Cosby. Prior to that, it was his mama. But right now, on this earth, not even the children know Bill Cosby better than Camille. Nobody knows Camille Cosby better than Bill. It makes no sense to me to bust up now. Why? Are they really going to send that man to jail? Who knows? This is under the Trump administration. Yeah, he'll probably have to do some time. How sad. How sad it would be to see this man at his age, after all he has achieved, after the great examples he has set for decades, after entertaining generations of people, to see him go to jail in his twilight years by himself, without the support of his wife and his remaining children. Does he really deserve that? I'm sure people say, Madam Whip-ass, the fuck you talking about? He was raping women for years. Drugging them. Having sex with them. Well, you know what? Some women I believe, and a whole shitload of them I don't. I said it before, but if you're new to the Madam Whip-ass channel, I'm going to say it again. I don't believe no white 1962, 63, 64, 67, no 1972, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77 bitch that said Bill Cosby, this black man, drugged and raped them. And these white women, especially the 1960 bitches, did not tell anyone until 2015, because nigga Bill Cosby from the 1960s, who drugged and raped white women, was much too powerful and they were afraid. I will never believe that shit in a million years. Now this Andrea Constance, I think I saw a video clip. She's supposed to do an interview, whether or not it took place, or I read an article in her statement. I think I saw a video clip of her speaking. And she sounded very believable. But not that that's neither here nor there. My thing is that, Camille, you cannot tell me you did not have an inkling or a clue what your husband was about. Nobody knows Bill Cosby better than you, Camille. You know he was best friends with Hugh Hefner. I said it before and I'll say it again. Hugh Hefner was America's pimp, and it was all right. That's what happens when you enjoy white privilege and you're part of white supremacy. You can be a white man pimp of America, and it's A-OK. But in that world, you got a Playboy mansion, and you're just feasting off of sex, if you will. You got all types of people who come around that have lots of fetishes and kinky shit going on with them. And the fact that Bill Cosby liked the sex women who were rendered unconsciousness, that's just one step under fucking a dead woman. But that was his thing. Well, Camille, you've been married to this man since the early 1960s. You can't tell me you was oblivious to his, his little freaky, kinky, quirky thing he had going on. I'll never believe that in a million years. So I said all that to say this. You've been with that man for so many decades. You have loved that man. That man has loved you. Together you have birthed and loved your children. And your children has loved the two of you. And when shit was good, when he was raking and turned the family or turned himself into $100 million man, and you was $100 million wife, and y'all had $100 million children, it was all good. I'm sure you had some issues and problems then, but it wasn't worth you leaving him. And now that shit is all fucked up. It's very possible he might go to jail. You just gonna sell shit and leave him. As if you were oblivious to his sexual proclivities. That's what I have a problem with. If you didn't leave him the first 50 times you knew he was fucking other women, don't leave him now. Don't do that to that man. That man took care of you and his children. Yeah, he was raping and drugging and fucking bitches, and I'm not saying that's right. But if you didn't leave him then, the fuck you gonna leave him for now? Camille, you getting a side eye from me. Cosby children. Now, I don't know how true this is, but if it's true, y'all haven't spoken to your father, you left, you relocated with your mother. Don't do your daddy like that, because your daddy took care of you. You taking shit for granted, children, adult children. You ain't never known what it's like to have a daddy that abandoned you and didn't give a fuck whether you was eating, sleeping, living, dying, whether you was hot, cold. You don't know what that's like. Your father had a problem, and it wasn't a problem that only he knew about. Maybe you didn't know, but your mama knew. You don't turn your back on that man, because regardless of anything, whatever his sexual proclivities were, really ain't none of your damn business. And I don't know none of y'all, but I can stand here and safely say your daddy took care of you and he never turned his back on you. Don't do it to him. That's all I got to say. That's my opinion. I hope it's not true. I hope it's just a stupid rumor. But in case it's not, you Cosby clan are fucked up. And that's all I gotta say. Peace.